Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Today I'm going to present you some deadline tips for Gameweek 8. First of all, we're going to go through my team and why I've selected those players. And then we're going to see some injury tips and some injury news from the managers that have given on Thursday. At the end, I'll be giving some deadline tips, so stay tuned about that. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to become part of the community and subscribe to the channel. Starting in goal, it's Henderson against Nottingham Forest. It's an away fixture. I don't expect a lot from Palace against Forest. Palace have been terrible so far. Maybe the loss of Olise and Anderson is pretty obvious and they're just not doing it that good. But still, I believe that Henderson in goal can get me some at least safe points and probably a slight chance of a clean sheet. In defense, I've got 3 defenders from the top 3 sides, and I think those are the top 3 defenders from those sides to own at the moment. We are starting with Gabriel against Bournemouth. I'm expecting finally an Arsenal clean sheet. Most probably it's going to hurt me if they keep a clean sheet, but if Gabriel is in the bonus, and not a lot of players currently will own triple Arsenal in defense or double even, because a harder fixture run is coming, so I would be good to hold Gabriel and be prepared for a lot of things. But yeah, Gabriel attacking return potential and defensive return potential. Trent, he scored midweek for England a good free kick. I'm expecting some attacking returns against Chelsea. I do not suspect any clean sheets will come Liverpool's way in the near future, as their fixture run is just awful. But for now, I think that Chelsea at home is a good fixture for Trent to present himself and to be there in the attacking returns department. Rico Willis, I think that with the Rodri injury, Rico Willis is going to get even more game time now, as he will be operating in midfield and he can do some tremendous job in around the number 8 position, and he can even get an attacking return. I'm hoping for a Manchester City clean sheet there and more than 60 minutes cameo from Lewis in order to finalize and to be strong with that pick and to get the returns that he deserves. In midfield, I'm opting for 4 players. Let's discuss the obvious elephant in the room. It's Saka against Bournemouth. Saka has not been seen in training yet, so I would be closely monitoring what Arteta says and maybe look for some more training pictures. But I'm a little bit worried. If Saka goes, there are several options that we need to discuss, but I'm going to do that after the injury news, and we're going to see what we can do if Saka is out. As against Forest, the same appeal as Henderson. They have not played good, but a semi-good fixture. I believe that Eze can be present in that fixture and he can be delivering some points, so I'm expecting maybe a slight return from him. And Bumo, top 2 player in the league from FPL. In my perspective, when you compare price, row and returns, he has been scoring for fun. He has been the talisman from Brentford, and until he is fit, I will be not touching Mbumo, and I will be only playing him as a starter. I may even consider captaining him in some weeks. Then we are getting into my 50-50 for this week. It's either going to be Rodgers at Fulham away or Smith Rowe at Aston Villa at home. They face off against each other, and honestly, I don't know what to do. I think that Rodgers may return some points, but I think Smith Rowe at home can do that as well. Looking at his returns so far at home, he has scored, he has made an assist, and he has scored. So away from home, he has been struggling, but at home, he has been delivering. So there is a very big chance that I opt for Smith Rowe and just concede the Aston Villa team. But we will decide that on the deadline stream. So come in and tune and be part of the community and the channel. Then Vardy against Southampton, I'm expecting a return there because so far he has been disappointing in my opinion, as he hasn't returned yet since I got him into my team. But Southampton away is a pretty good fixture for him to start delivering. Havertz against Bournemouth, I think Havertz was pictured in training, so I believe that Bournemouth away is going to be a good fixture for him to start getting points from the away fixtures, and he's not going anywhere into the next week, as he is very solid player from a top 3 side. Haaland, my captaincy option there, I don't think I need to specify anything. For me, the must-own player in the next 4 weeks, as he is tremendous in a captaincy option. Robinson and Aina remain as bench option as they face off against 2 of my attackers. I really think that Smith Rowe will come in instead of Rodgers, but we'll make that decision later on, and we will see what's the condition of Bukayo Saka. Going into some injury team news, Son and Richarlison have returned to training and come back to the squad, which is good. Bergwijn, slight injury, but he is coming back as well. Postecoglou implied that all of the players that came from international duty are fit, so that would mean Brennan Johnson is okay as well. Wilson Odegaard is the only one on the injury list. Going into Brighton's team, Adingra, Van Heek and Rutter are returning, so that's a good thing for Brighton, and they can do a pretty solid squad against against Newcastle. Webster, Milner, Pedro and Matt O'Reilly remain out. I don't know what happened with Pedro, but since he came back from that Brazil trip, he has been in the injury list. The above quotes suggest that Baleba is fine, as he mentioned that no one else apart from the 4 players are with injuries. Solly March is injury free now, but he's getting up to speed, so it's going to be interesting to see when he's going to be utilized. The good news comes from Brentford, where Yohan Wissa is ahead of schedule and not even ruled out of featuring in Old Trafford. That's huge, as Brentford are having a pretty good fixture run, and I think that he's going to be massive into those games, and I might even consider bringing him in for the better fixtures. Wiss's training, as mentioned, Jensen, Thiago Nunes and Rico Henry, they are also back on grass, which is quite good. If they get those players back, I think they're going to be in for a treat. Long-term absentees are Hickey and Silva, Norgard and Darmstadt are fit, so yeah, good there. From Crystal Palace perspective, everyone is fit. Munoz and Wharton are probably going to be back. They play on Monday, so I think they'll have the time. Riyad, Turner and Franca are definitely out, with Matt Turner being ineligible, and Chris Richard is out as well. We don't know what's going on with Richards and Doucouré, but we might get some updates there. Everton are with a lot of issues. Garner and Irogbunam are out. Patterson isn't much fit enough and too soon for Brantwaite, as he might have an injury. Mikulenko and Comer seem to be closer, but I think still they will be out, so that will be very good fixture to target against them. So everyone owning Ipswich players, I think, are going to be in the money. West Ham, Fulkirk is injured, and that's it, I believe. Nothing too serious. Alvarez hasn't returned yet, but yeah, apart from Fulkirk, everyone seems to be fit. From Southampton, the cheap option from Ross Stewart is now injured, and he will be out, but he at least avoided a serious injury. Bazunu and Stevens are out. Smallbone and Suemena are available. No mention for Dibling, but I believe that he will be playing. Leicester City, Vestergaard played 180 minutes. His place, blah. So yeah, they are good. Starucic, Daka and Chowdhury remain out. So that's it. Now, the big question is what to do with your team. For me, wait until the pressers on Friday are finalized and then do your transfers. Don't do anything rush. It's not worth it. In my opinion, you should wait and you should see what everyone has said, as we haven't heard from Pep, from Angeswold, from Arteta, I think from Emery we have to hear yet, from Frank Silva for Fulham. I think for Forest we need to hear. A lot of teams we haven't heard from, so we need to see. If you are owning Saka and he's plugged in your team, as mentioned, wait and see. If not, you have several options. The one option is to take him out, and if you are doing so, regardless if you own Haaland, for me Foden is the best player to go for. Against Wolves and Southampton, I can see them running havoc and destroying them massively, so Foden is a good option. Another good option for game week 8 is going to be Heung-min Son, but the thing with both of those players is, one, I don't know if they're going to be playing 90 minutes, and two, Foden is not on pens, Son is coming back from injury, and he has lack of match fitness, so I don't know how much time he will be involved. So initially, I might take the risk on Saka. If we survive game week 8 with Saka, I then want to sell him from game week 9. I believe the best player to go for is neither Foden or Son. I think it's going to be Cole Palmer. Newcastle and Manchester United, even though most probably we're going to wildcard, around game week 12, me at least, and Leicester is the start of the good fixtures. That's a big if, because if you go and see Cole Palmer, he has received 3 yellow cards so far. In the next 4 games, he faces 4 oppositions that are pretty tricky to beat, so there is a huge chance that he receives at least 1 or even 2 yellow cards and he might miss a game. So monitor that. That's very important before making any decisions. Don't go and don't waste transfers for players that may get suspended as soon as possible. If that happens and if Saka is fit, I just might hold him and just wait and see what's the case there. If not, I'm most probably going to go for Phil Foden to match the Haaland brace. There were a lot of rumors about Bruno Fernandes being a good option, but honestly, yeah, I see the appeal against West Ham, against Leicester, but it's not that ideal. In game week 12, most probably players will be wildcarding, and after that is Arsenal and City in the next 2 from 3. So it's pretty hard to say what are you going to do with Manchester United, and I need to see some improvement before making any moves there. So initially, if Palmer receives a yellow card against Liverpool, I might stay away from him until he receives his 5th one. If he does not, I think I would be jumping on Palmer and I will be seeing what to do with the rest of the squad. Elsewhere up front, Solanke for me is a very solid option. Chris Wood is a solid option. Kune is a solid option, and Wissa is a solid option when he becomes fit. And let's not forget about Raul Jimenez, who has been in good form for Fulham and an amazing form for Mexico in the international duty. So yeah, a lot of tips there for you guys. If you want to ask any questions, don't hesitate, do it. I'm answering everyone. If you want to be part of the community, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can join the Discord. There is a link which are all about FPL, UCL fantasy. A lot of things have been talked about, but yeah, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget all those great stuff. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.